one mystery is, why do self-proclaimed pro-life Republicans not defend other pro-life Republicans? This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Senator Tommy Tuberville is in the middle of a firestorm. The Democrats are livid. They don't like the fact that Tuberville is holding the Defense Department accountable for its illegal use of DOD funds for abortion. And he's taking a principled stance. He has a position as a key member of the Senate to block military appointments. He warned DOD, don't carry this out, this little scheme that the Department of Defense came up with to circumvent the law, because there's a little pesky thing called the law. You cannot use federal funds for abortion. The DOD is trying to circumvent it by funding people who want to have abortions. Tuberville said, hey, if you do this, I'm telling you, we're going to block the nominations. We're going to block these nominations, and you aren't going to like it. DOD said, go pound salt. They carried out the plan anyway. And now the Democrats and some Republicans, friends and colleagues of mine, are furious with Tommy Tuberville for doing exactly what he said he'd do. And the bigger picture to me is, either you're pro-life or you're not. Listen, this is uncomfortable for me. I don't like criticizing colleagues. And I don't want to make this, we're not going to turn this into why, I think I'm right and why I disagree with one of my colleagues, Hugh Hewitt. But it's an important issue. Hugh's a smart guy. I've got tremendous respect for him. And Hugh is calling Tuberville stupid. He's furious. For Hugh to call Tommy Tuberville somebody who shouldn't be stuck on stupid, and he said that repeatedly, Hugh chooses his words carefully, and Hugh's obviously very upset with the Alabama senator. And I pay close attention. Hugh's one of the best broadcasters in our business. He lands great interviews. And he's a friend. Friends can sometimes disagree. Why would Republicans pile on and criticize the Alabama senator for doing exactly what he said he would do? He didn't start this fight. The Democrats did. They unilaterally funded abortion travel over at DOD. They didn't need to do this. They did it anyway. And now Tuberville is trying to defend life. God forbid a pro-life Republican senator tries to defend life. We can't have, come on, we got shipyards to build. We got money to give to Ukraine. And don't even get me started on Ukraine. You can't, on the one hand, keep wanting more defense funds for shipyards and give Zelensky whatever he wants for as long as he wants it. Did you hear Biden yesterday in Lithuania? We need to give Zelensky whatever he wants for as long as he wants it. Can you imagine Americans not paying attention to that? Have we learned nothing about endless wars? Are we so blind as to the consequences of American involvement in interventions in foreign countries that will never end? Biden wants the United States taxpayer to get out our checkbook and give Zelensky of Ukraine whatever he wants for as long as he wants it. We'll find that clip for you. I'll play that. Because when I heard it, it made my blood go cold. I could not believe I was hearing these words. It's unbelievable. So we've got differences here among like-minded Americans. Republicans can differ and disagree. And again, we are not making this an attack on people who don't agree with me on this. So don't even call to turn it into that. Let's have a good, solid conversation about what Senator Tuberville is doing. Let's have a good, solid conversation about what Joe Biden and the Democrats expect from our endless funding of Ukraine's battle with Russia. I want to talk about policy. I want to talk about issues. I'm not going to talk about personalities. But I do wonder why Republicans eat each other up like this. Why we go after somebody like anybody goes after Tommy Tuberville. Now, earlier in the week, he got in trouble over an issue of the way he defines white nationalism. And I admit, and I agree, that was a dopey thing to say. White nationalism is racism, of course. I think that Tuberville was defending nationalism and was hung up on the word white in front of it, and is there a black nationalist and all of that. But maybe people on our side are mad at Tuberville over that, and now they're pounding him on standing up for life. But the bottom line here is, and this is what I want to talk to you about. Let's dive into this. Isn't Tuberville correct to do exactly what he said he would do? He promised he would block these nominations if the Department of Defense tried to circumvent the law and fund abortion travel. Oh, the Marine Corps is without a commandant for 15 minutes. Big deal. The Marines will survive. You know who isn't surviving? Babies aborted in the womb and women who are enabled by taxpayer dollars to go travel to get an abortion at our expense. And you know what that is? That's illegal. That is against the law.